Is the NBA a soft league in today's game, in modern times? That's what I want to get into in this video. I know this video is going to raise a lot of eyebrows, but I think it's something that we as sports fans and NBA fans, basketball fans, need to get into. So this is Charles here. I want to welcome you to the channel, Dreamers Pro. Let's go. So there's been a lot of debate recently, and then let's say within the past 3 or 4 years, of wondering, especially from older players, saying that the NBA has gotten soft. Some fans have been saying the NBA has gotten soft. Now, what am I getting at? What point am I hitting on? A lot of this has to do with a lot of the rest that the players have been taking over the last few years. And it's something that's been rubbing some people the wrong way. And I have my personal take on it. Now, let me just quickly say, obviously, as you can see, I'm not an NBA basketball player. I don't play in the NBA. I'm not even really good at basketball. I'm just a huge fan of the sport, so I don't know what these players put their bodies through on a day-to-day basis on all of the rigors of playing an 82-game season. I have no idea what that feels like. Although what I do understand is that basketball players have at least players in the NBA have the access to the best training facilities, the best, medical doctors that sports can afford them. So they're in great hands. They have, all the information that you would need from a health standpoint to be able to go out there and perform, because they have the information and they have the resources, teams provide it to them. So it's not like as if they're out there doing this on their own. Now, what's the issue? What's the point I'm trying to hit at? Well, as an NBA fan, something that's been pretty weird to me. I've been following basketball for probably about 17 years now, and the thing that's been really weird to me is the fact that how players are taking off so much rest than they used to before. Now, if my reasoning serves me right, and I'm sure some of you out there will agree with me, the consensus thought would be, as time goes on, we're supposed to be getting better with our medical, care that we're doing and all of this technological advances that we're getting in medicine and all of this stuff. So one would think that players would actually get better as time goes on. They'd be more durable. They'd be able to perform better. But contrary to the evidence, what you're seeing is that that's actually not the case. If you think back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, players that played in Michael Jordan's era and players before that, they played a full 82-game season without a lot of the amenities and benefits and and luxuries that a lot of players have today. The argument that these people are making is, and that's why I feel like in the world of sports, there's a lot of funny things going on, because there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of politics that are going out there, there's a lot of products that are being pushed, medical instruments that are being pushed to players saying, hey, this is going to make you do good, this is going to make you perform better. But if you look at the results, players are not playing as much as they used to. The athletes are actually getting more tired. Now, some of you may say, well, that was a different time, that was a different day and age. But my thought is, as a fan or as anybody that's interested in sports, you would think as time goes on, you'd be able to have more information based off of the things that we've been able to learn from in the past to be able to perform better today, because we have more information. So it's really mind-boggling to me that NBA players are actually taking off more time. They seem to be more fragile, and the reasons that they give for this, one of them is load management. Now let me just say, Kawhi Leonard is my favorite basketball player currently going. If you're injured, I think then you should definitely nurse your injuries. But if you're going off of the thing of, load management and all of this stuff, I think that's a personal choice that you're making. Don't say that it's something that's better for, your health. Just say it's a personal choice that you're making, because there are other players that played 82 games in a season and are just fine today. Look at, Charles Barkley and all these other players, Shaq and all. These guys played 82 game season. Now, Shaq obviously is a bigger person, so he would need to lose weight, but Kobe and all these guys used to do it. It's one thing to play if you're injured. It's another thing to play when you're, it's one thing to not play if you're injured. It's another thing to not play and say it's because I want to manage my body. What are you managing it for? The whole purpose of having a summer, three months off, is to prepare yourself to be able to play an 82 game season. That's the thought process behind it. A second thing I think we're seeing, for a reason why I think NBA players are getting soft, in my opinion, is a shift in mentality. I watched an interview on ESPN, First Take, with Kobe when he had recently retired, and he was talking to Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, and they asked him about what they thought about LeBron taking off and other players taking off so much rest. And he said in his day, or in his time of playing, it was something that was really, really hard for him to conceive that he would be able to play and not play. for a number of reasons. Number one, he knows that the paying fan, the paying customer, you and I, the consumers of the sport, we are spending our hard-earned money and actually going out there and supporting them. We're putting our eyeballs on the TV, which creates revenue for these networks, which also helps these teams generate money, which pay their salaries. So he feels like an obligation. He feels an obligation to not just himself, but to the sports, to the fans, to actually go out there and play and put on a show for them, because they know that they're well aware that this may be the only chance that this person may actually come and see them play ever. You know, you put it in your mind that some people that go to NBA games are not people just living in the States. There may be people coming from all around the world that are coming to see these athletes, perform, and they just don't see them for whatever reason. Now, I think a lot of this was pioneered by the San Antonio Spurs, who used to give their players a lot of rest, and they actually got into a big rift with the league once because they rested their players on opening week, and it really hurt the ratings because a lot of people were amped to see their players go play against, I believe, against the Miami Heat, and Greg Popovich sent his stars home because he wanted to give them, or whatever the case was, and it really created a rift. Since then, we've been noticing this trend in basketball where players are taking more and more and more rest. To me, I think is weird. I don't know what the reason is. So that's the reason I made this video, because I really want to know, you guys as basketball fans, what do you think the reason is that these players, the basketball players nowadays, find it easy to take time off from playing basketball when that's the reason that they're being compensated to play in the first place? I don't know if this could work in the, in the professional world. I don't know if this could work at your job. I don't know if you work a 9 to 5 or whatever it is, if you can afford to take off. I don't know how that works. So I want to know what you guys think, because for me, I think it's weird. I think it's something that the NBA needs to address moving forward and really take a step back and think about the fact, because they have to look at their product and say, some people are even saying they want to reduce the number of games in a season. Whatever the case is, I think that it's something that we as basketball fans need to really get into a conversation about and understand what the heck is going on, because in the future, we don't know what the sport may look like. They may reduce the amount of games in a season or whatever it is. So I'm just putting my opinion out here. I want to know what you guys think. This is my take on it, and I just want to know what you guys think. So if you enjoyed this video, most importantly, leave a comment below. I'm not even going to stress you about subscribing. Leave a comment below. I want to know what you thought about what I just spoke about in this video. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Charles here, wishing you a great day. Peace.